You're good.
All right, at 7:31, I'll call the 2024 organizational meeting to order. Just have a few things of business to cover, so it should be pretty quick. As usual, our township meetings are always held first and third Monday, informally at 7 p.m. and formal meetings starting at 7:30. If there's a federal holiday, the meeting will be postponed to the following day. Work sessions will be the fourth Monday as needed. That's good for everybody still?
Yep.
I have a motion.
I'll move that we continue that same schedule.
Second.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. McClure.
Yes.
Next order of business would be to elect our officers for 2024. So, you guys have any discussion on that, or if there's a motion, or?
I move to keep officers the same as 2023.
Second.
So that would be Trustee Pettit as president, Trustee Young as vice president, and Trustee McClure as member of all. So, Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Mr. McClure.
Yes.
The next order of business is the departments assignments. As always in the past, we've had where any department could go to any trustee, so maintain that.
I mean, we keep that the same.
Second.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Mr. McClure.
Yes.
Same with the road department. Anybody in the township can call any of the residents can call anybody.
Yeah, I'll move we continue that.
Second.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Mr. McClure.
Yes.
Next order of business is, right now, I don't know if you have any discussion or thoughts on the salary and hourly rates for the employees, or if we're just gonna keep them at the same rate currently, and then.
Yeah, we're gonna do some discussion, but we'll just keep it the same right now.
Okay. Motion for that.
Yeah, I'll move that we keep that the same currently.
Second.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Mr. McClure.
Yes.
Maybe the last year sent $3,000, set a $3,000 limit on for a purchase order and prior notification for a purchase by township departments. Wanna keep that the same, raise it.
I move we raise that with everything going up. I mean, we can't be approving.
What do you think? Move it 3,500, 4,000?
I wouldn't do any more than 5. I'm thinking 4,000 to 5,000 is where I'm at.
I was thinking about just adding 1,000 to it. I
Okay.
don't know.
What do you guys, it's 4? Is that agreeable?
On the stuff you guys have been buying before,
Is that pretty
be
good?
better for it. Because it seems like a lot of stuff's just right up in that.
Yeah,
Between 4 and 5 is fine. I mean, some things are $3,000 now easily.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Especially for the fire department, when they go in to buy certain things, you know, he can't hardly buy anything.
We typically call anyways to let you know what
Yeah.
it is. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, still a notification, I think we still do that.
So would 4 be okay?
That's fine.
Yeah, I'll move that we raise that limit to 4,000 for the purchase order.
I second the limit increase.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Mr. McClure.
Yes.
Blanket certificate limit, we had that at 25,000. Works pretty well.
It's still good for
Yeah,
you.
it's good for me.
Well, I'll move we continue 25,000 on the blanket certificates.
Second.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Mr. McClure.
Yes.
I don't really have any other business on that. We have a motion to close the organization.
You got anything else?
Yeah. No,
I'll move we adjourn the organization meeting.
just leave it, Brian. We're just gonna go on.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Pettit.
Yes.
Mr. McClure.
Yes.
Perfect. That will conclude the organizational meeting. So it is 7:35. We will now open our stated meeting. Would everyone please join me in giving the pledge to the flag of our country? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we have the minutes, any discussion?
I will make a motion that we suspend the reading of the minutes and accept them as written.
Second that motion?
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Bell?
Yes,
Yes.
with that, we got kind of I think a little short meeting tonight. We will start with our chief, John Heath, Fire EMS Chief, John Heath. I think that's the only department reports we will have this evening.
All right. Good evening.
Good evening,
Everybody had a happy new year.
so far.
So we finished the year at 1,820. Our runs from last meeting were 60 since our last meeting, about 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think. We ended up averaging 4.9 calls, so we stayed on track about right where we thought we were gonna be. Compared to last year, we're down 100 calls. I think that COVID had something to do with the increase. I think we're about where we usually stay over the past couple of years. I do see it to increase a little bit. If we get new homes, get those new homes over the bluffs, there's a little bit more homes coming in. I think we can see an increase coming. Mutual aid received since our last meeting, we had one. We ended up with 67 for the year coming into the township. Mutual aid that we gave out 3. We had 117 for the year.
Gave
I did
out 100.
17. So did the numbers, and what you guys have in front of you is the annual report, which does discuss a lot more about what's going on. We end up having a River Township unit of 98.5% of calls in the township, which is really good. Some of them were multiple medics now. They were on crashes with multiple pieces of apparatus. Unfortunately, we just don't have that much personnel to cover every single call, but less than 3% didn't have, or really 2.7% didn't have anybody there is really well. That's a high number for us. I did get a hold of Suffolk, and they gave me an update on the rescue. They are in the process of finishing it up. They're going to have us up here shortly to do an inspection. I would invite you 3 to come up, and I'd like for Nathan to come as well, so we can look at some of the structural stuff to make sure we're good to go before we take possession. I'd say it's probably going to happen in the next month. I asked for some things to be done. I'm asking for them to pump test and do some other things before we get it. I want to see that things are okay before that shows up here. Obviously, once it gets back here, we got some upfitting things. We have to put some decals on it. They don't do that, but it's all covered through the insurance process. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, truck will be ready by March. Fully running, ready to go.
So the 7th.
But also,
plan out.
yeah, I'm not holding my breath because something told me that it'll be here by July 4th parade, and it's 2024. So we've gone almost 14 months without the truck, so it'll be new to us again, it seems like. So, my other thing is I'm making them look at the motor, make sure everything's up with all the updates and everything, because obviously things have changed. Hasn't been ran a lot, doesn't have a lot of hours. I want them to do a real good mechanical work over it. So
Just don't change all fluids. It's been sitting for a year.
yeah, I told them I just want to have it all done. I do have a picture I can show you after the meeting, what it looks like. It looks great. I think they're just finding small little things just going through with a fine tooth comb, which I'm okay with. I'm not going to press them when it comes to we're over the hump at this point, in my opinion.
Changing all the fluids, would that fall under, or would that be an extra?
It'll probably be an extra. But they're a mechanic shop, so I probably just have them do it anyway.
Yeah, that'd be too much for our lift, wouldn't it, Nathan? You can't get that rescue up on the lift.
I would just have them, their mechanic is there, I might just have him do it once
Yeah.
over the motor and make
They
sure everything.
do it.
It sat outside so long, I just want to make sure there's nothing else wrong with it.
No, there's no, you can't hurt changing all the fluids and everything, so
Okay.
I'd change them
Um,
all.
On Friday, Medic 150 suffered a flat tire on the way to the ER. I did brief you guys real quickly that night. We did have a patient in the back. Patient made it to the hospital through the help of Fairborn. Our crews were quick enough to call on the radio to get a Fairborn medic to come out and get him on the side of the highway. They transferred the patient very quickly and in a safe manner and on the swing. I think they ended up only delaying, it was only a couple minutes. So worked well. We ended up having the Fairborn medic take it, and their medic jumped on and assisted us. So we ended up kind of dual taking the call, which worked out great for us. We appreciate Fairborn for helping us out at a last minute. The tires are gonna be, the tire got replaced on the side of the highway, ended up being looked like a nail or a screw, went right through the center of it. It is scheduled to get the rest of the tires replaced, tomorrow at Dust One, so it's going to get that done. They'll get an alignment while it's there. I don't think it's had an alignment since we've had it, so it's probably putting all new rubber on. It's probably good to get that. We are in the process of transitioning the support over to fire auxiliary applications, and all the notifications go about the next couple of days, which is just saying that that it's a fire auxiliary instead of a support. We're gonna have community members that would like to be involved, fill out an application, and then they'll go through that process of what we've talked about ahead of time. I would like for one of the trustees possibly to sit in on the board when we do the interviews, just to see their community members, and then go from there, make some determination who's gonna be on it or whatever. But we do, current people that we do have on support, we're gonna stay on support. We're just transitioning them over. Our community CPR program is up and running. Advertisements go out soon to promote it. Our hope is to offer CPR probably on a quarterly basis here at the station, and it'll be at a discounted rate, pretty much for community members. And then obviously for businesses, we'll charge a little, probably just a little bit more due to the fact right now people are charging $65 for a CPR card. I don't think we're going to charge anywhere near that, but we have to do something to maintain our program too with the cards.
Sure.
Other than that, if you just look at the real quick at the little form I gave you, we worked 34,000 hours this year at the township for Mad River. Average employees out of our 52 were 659 hours, which is really, it's up from last year, which is good. Runs pretty much stayed the same. If you look on page 4, highway responses went down by about 15 calls, 15 to 20. I attributed that to the weather, no real snow or ice. So sounds like Saturday we might get a little bit of something. So we might be, that number may change real quick. Then obviously you can see where I broke it down. The village took about 402 calls. The township took 1,283. We're averaging about 7 minutes to get on scene out of all those 1,820 calls, which is not a bad average considering we got to go out pretty deep in spots. Fire trucks are taking about 8 minutes. Medics are taking about 6 minutes, 6.5. Obviously, fire trucks are a little slower than the ambulance. And then the rest of it, Showing Hospital, by far the hospital we go to the most. That was no different than last year. One thing I will note is that Mercy Enid did pick up. So we went up to 200 patients, which is good. That's something that we've been working with our employees. That's a close facility in the township, and if we can get them there and it's appropriate, we need to go there. So most of those other bypasses are people wanting to go to Showing, or they're needing to go to Showing due to the medical problem, a stroke or trauma. And then you can see we don't go to Grandview. I think we went to Grandview once. That was because we went mutual aid somewhere. But our 3 big hitters are Mercy Enid, Mercy Springfield, and Showing. So I can see possibly Miami Valley Beaver Creek picking up a little bit. Other than that, the big highlights for the year, grants were up this year. Last year we did about 14,000, 15,000 in grants. This year we did 17,736. Of those, we got the marathon grant, the fire prevention grant were the 2 big ones, and then obviously we got that money from Speedway right at the last meeting. So good for us. So over the last 2 years, we're at $32,000 in grants back to the township for the fire department, which is a really good number. I'd love for it to be higher, but we'll take what we can get. And then obviously, you've already seen the safety improvements. We made a huge increase on our safety improvements for the highway due to the fact of getting hit. All our crews are new safety vests. We've got new lights that flash to move cars over. We ended up putting chevron taping on the point to protect it some more. We're still waiting on to get lights to put up on top of that to have more warning.
Those LEDs we talked about the back.
On the top.
Yeah.
We ended up putting those, that Haas alert system, which alerts vehicle drivers, which has been tremendous for us. I think we've alerted over 15 to 20,000 drivers already. We've only had it in for 4 months. So that's really good for us. And then just the department improvements. We got a new fire reporting system and inspection system software. Obviously the purchase of the new brush truck, which should be up and running here shortly. The pump will be here Thursday, which is great. It's on the road. Hopefully it'll be here as long as it's in a snowstorm. And then we just continue to do our community outreach, numerous hours at apple butter parades, everything else, but, that's for your records. It will go on go on the website tonight so that people can see what their fire department's doing and where we're at, so.
I do have one question for you. We'll put you on the spot.
Okay.
How much overtime did we have last year?
I don't know. I have to look. I can break it down to you, but I could probably say it's less than 100.
100 hours?
Yeah, amount of hours.
Yeah.
I think,
I know like the apple.
Dave
butter-
probably could guess. It wasn't a ton. Maybe a little more than that, but it wasn't a lot.
Okay.
Most of
Just
the overtime we got were, employees were a little over worked up to 36 hours, then took a late call, which bumped them over a couple hours. And then obviously when we did, the big community events, apple butter, we have to kind of pay a little bit of overtime during that time frame. But other than that, we're
I had to ask.
way less than what we've had in the past, so we, just so you do know, the commitment that the state made in changing our hours from 1,500 to 18 saved us a lot. It's helped us to maintain our membership. It did exactly what we wanted it to do, where the argument was 1,500 hours, why they got going with 1,500 hours. Now you have that new statute that allows them to work 38 hours a month or a week, which it helps us a ton.
Are
So
they gonna keep that
it is. I found out that it is permanent. It
good?
was, it initially said it was gonna be like a 1-year deal, and then I found out when I talked to 2 other fire chiefs at the county, and they're like, nope, that's permanent. And then I looked back and looked through the Ohio legislation, so Kyle Kohler was a big proponent of that, so that was good for him,
Yep.
helping us out, so
Absolutely.
that's all I've got. I appreciate your time.
Anybody else have anything, John?
Thank you.
And then
Thanks, John.
if we got an executive, I need to speak about some movement of personnel.
Yeah, I do see a need to go to executive session this evening. At some point here. We'll just take this. So next, Dave, do you have anything else, or do you cover everything?
I got a few things. I do have checks and lots of purchase orders for you guys to sign off on since we're starting a new year, kind of get that rolling. I do have the bank recs and reports for the month of October and November for you, have those caught back up. I'm starting to work on year end, closing out 2023, so I'll continue to do that, and hopefully have that done in the next month and a half or so. Got a couple credit card statements for trustee Pettit to review. Did get the 2023 highway mileage certification form for you guys to sign off on, so we get that back. Looks like we bumped up a little bit. I assume they gave us some more over in the bluffs, or to 53.086 miles. I assume that's where they
I
increased
thought it was a little less, I thought it was more than that before.
Last year we had 52.839.
Yeah, that deal have to go, so.
I think during this year when we did the speed zone thing on Fowler, didn't we finally get that? They finally passed that in the bluffs or something, that last little phase of street or something maybe. Something got done like with that wasn't done probably.
And then the only other thing I received in the mail today was a Ohio Division of Liquor Control for the Eden Beverage Depot on 6775 Dayton Road. They just wanted to know if we want a hearing for that location.
The old M&B.
Assume so. What's the address? 6775. If we don't want to have a hearing, I just gotta check the box and send that back to them.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
It's been there forever.
Really all that.
Through the back.
Yeah.
You wanna look at this? There it goes, yeah.
It's just-
Yeah, I know it's sold, even though it's the beverage depot.
Okay. That's all I have.
All righty. Anything from Houston? Don't fire any of this. We will have our joint board this week. We'll try to forget this time. Yeah. So we'll move right on into old business. Do we have anything? It's been pretty quiet around the holiday time here. I know we've already talked about the
We had our
catch basins.
SEM sites meeting,
Yeah, how did that go?
went well.
Gave them what
We
they
got to
needed.
talk to them, everyone went, I mean, we could see them.
We learned that, I think it was now start.
Just now starting. Well, that was a complete opposite of what they told me.
But
This
we
is
were
the
dealing- we
last
were dealing
very
with something
meeting we
different.
need, and then we can get this pushed through, so.
How long do they think it's gonna take?
Said it'd be relatively quick. I think
Yeah,
that
they
was what
didn't
his
give an
words were.
actual day. They just kept saying easy and quick. So,
We were talking to Barry something, different guy from before. He seemed to be the one that's actually doing it,
yeah, I think he's the actual
programmer.
programmer that's not from,
That's the only one of the meetings I've missed, but they had to change it, and I had
Yeah.
prior commitments that day, so.
Well, we
Right
got,
during the holidays, that's a tough time
we should be pretty well squared away on it to get.
I
get
think
it
they're like
something
a sister
before we-
company or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Which comes first, the
They're
tractor or
actually
the
owned by-
cemetery?
they're all owned by the
What's
same
the over
people.
under here?
Yeah. So which one to get done first?
So at least we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, everything else I believe we spoke about, I mean, you know, we don't need to be on the catch bases anymore. Are they moving forward with that? Have they started any of them yet? No, okay.
I think next week.
I know it was gonna be this month.
No, they had them laid out.
And got all their cones out
And
and
the
placed.
oops. But nothing.
Yeah, I think it was everyone's gonna be off for a holiday. And it's gonna be a couple foremen working through for a couple months. Be slow too.
Yeah.
So sounds like everybody's laid off there. I guess responding, I don't know if you guys saw some of those latest and greatest emails about the wild chickens on Grosse Point. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah, I did.
And that's an acre lot. I looked it up. I think there's some language in the zoning about keeping them contained. I was gonna double check. I'm gonna double check with
You
county tomorrow, before I stop over
From what I know,
there.
you've got to keep it pinned up, that's what I've been told.
I know who the people are, so I mean, I can stop them or something. As far as the cargo boxes on West Dean, I don't know if there's much we can do about that. You guys see the email from that?
Yeah, I saw that one too. I was gonna talk to Brandon tonight about it.
Yeah.
I got a call about some more today too.
No,
Commercial lot.
train cargo containers and backyards.
You know, these are in actual residential backyards.
Yeah, West Dean, and so a resident across the road from Don
Yeah.
has, contacted you and then sent emails. I mean, we've
Yeah.
been like I actually drove through there. I mean, yeah, they look terrible. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's a cheap shed. I don't know if you really,
A lot of people going to them.
they're all over the place too.
Cheap.
No taxes.
We
Not
bought
perfect.
one
Tax
for
free.
$1,000. It was in great
Yeah,
shape.
they paint them and if
You
you ever
can
go
lock them
down,
up, nobody can get
well, if
it.
you ever go down 75, they got that whole, right there by the, before you get into Cincinnati, you got that whole storage over there. They sell those like crazy.
Yeah.
They make them construction trailers
Yeah,
with an office up front for a lot of these construction companies.
And they're
Well,
cheap.
that was what I was
and
gonna talk about that, because I didn't know if there's anything we could do.
I bet there's nothing we could do. I mean, maybe
There's one out on Eden Road now, out of town,
about the blocks.
across from where you said about it.
I saw that one too, and I mean, that guy's got 5 acre lot.
Yeah, that's what I figured of
I
that.
mean, they don't look so great, but neither does a rotten little mini barn.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and that thing will last
Outlast
forever.
one of those.
So I don't know. It's just, we could check with Brandon on it, maybe check with zoning. You never did see anything on the Babcock variance
I
case.
never received anything in the mail.
Why we did not usually.
I'm not sure. I was gonna find out when I called to check on that wild chickens thing.
Yeah, because I had reached out to Jay about one on Southern Vista also,
Chickens?
and other animals, like getting to a neighbor's yard,
Oh, well, that's the thing. So what part of Southern Vista?
right there. Corner of Southern Vista.
Put
Right
it
there, a
somewhere.
couple houses back.
See, they're definitely not,
So they-
they're definitely not supposed to have them in there. And that's what, like, I know we've all talked about, we're not gonna go around and be the anti-chicken enforcers or whatever, but if you can't keep them in your yard, then we've got a problem.
Becomes a nuisance.
Get one of those little chicken tracker things or something, or make a little shed or storage container or cargo container.
I don't think people gotta make sure they, they gotta make sure they clip their wings too. Or they're gonna get out.
They'll fly.
Yeah, if you just let them run your backyard, you'll clip them.
Step on your fence.
They will get out. They'll fly and they'll get out. They can't fly far, but they can fly enough to get out of your yard.
So I know that it came up, Noelle that works here, she is under the half acre or whatever. It's like more than a half acre. I think you can have them, but they have to be contained. And hers were jumping the fence and harassing the neighbor, and the county sent them 30 days or whatever removal notice, and they will, and they'll come out and make you move, get rid of them. So, I mean, I think it should be reviewed, because I think with groceries being high and stuff, people should be able to, if you're in the rural areas.
That's what everybody's
you should be able
doing,
to
I mean,
have chickens.
with
and
what's going
have
on,
eggs
the egg shortage threats and all that.
But you can't have them jumping the fence and harassing the
Yes,
neighbors.
Right, you got to have a nice little coop, keep them in the
If you
backyard.
keep them in the coop, I don't see the issue.
No,
Keep them off the property lines.
Or that, whatever that thing is, the bicycle thing where I forget what it is, like they roll it, they stay
Yeah,
inside
move it
it,
around.
a roam, like a roam.
chicken tractor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
chicken
track, that's it,
tractor,
yeah.
Yeah.
See that, I see those on, Dayton Yellow Springs Road, there's a farm out there, and they
Oh,
got like
yeah.
10 of them.
Yeah. I've
They-
seen it.
They're just moving around.
So those are a couple of emails that stood out that were recent. I don't know if there was anything else that I missed. You guys can think of.
I don't think so. Do you have anything else to add?
But we can maybe check with Brandon and stuff, we can respond. No,
Yeah.
I did look at it, doesn't look bad. I kind of feel for somebody that's got one of those around their southern fence, but I don't know if we can.
Yeah, because you end up getting in, yeah, you know how it is. A few years ago, we had a little issue in one of the developments, and there was some barns having signs painted on them, and we just try to avoid that if we can. Yeah, so,
Slap a little roof on it, it look like a shed.
Yep.
and then moving on to, new business. We really didn't have much there. Hope everybody had a good Christmas and a good New Year. Seemed like it was pretty safe, wasn't it? We didn't have a lot of issues. Brandon indicated it was okay.
Yeah, there's some people, I think, that weren't sure why fireworks going off, but it is allowed. The state made that change a year or two ago. They
Yep.
allowed us to shoot fireworks off on New Year's.
Yep.
I think people weren't happy that some of it was going to 1:30 in the morning, but unfortunately, not much you can do to enforce that.
There is a rule, there is a time rule on there, but I can't.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is offhand, but
So many hours before and after.
yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like it was too crazy, maybe an hour or so, and then it calmed down. It was a lot better than 4th of July. Seems like it goes on for a couple days. So,
And with your house shut, my window's shut, I don't hear it anyway.
but I mean, the weather's been good, so I think that's why a lot of people were out about. We didn't have anything.
And the burn bans are off.
They're gone for right now.
Good.
It's wet enough. It's in that drying season when the
Yeah.
leaves are put down.
We got harvest and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have in new business. You have anything, Jay?
No,
You wanna make a motion, we go into, for the, so the appointments, the employment, and the compensation.
Okay. Make a motion to go into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, compensation, other employee or official.
Second.
Mr. Young?
yes.
Mr. Feather?
Yes.
Mr. McClure?
Yes.
Next one.